onion. So
Yeah. Man, Brother Tony, thank you. I think we got Matthew. Matthew, you there?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay, well, peace and blessings, my brother. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and give us some of your thoughts about this subject? Can we resolve the problem of violence, or is it just too far gone?
Well, from my experience, I have experienced a lot of, stuff of violence, and there is a way that we can stop it, and the way is to just provide more resources for the young people that we are, and just, move accordingly to the Word of God and, things like that, because in reality, the lives that are getting took every day from the constant violence is not doing anything but hurting us inside, because the same people that's taking our people, and they're not going anywhere. It's history that keeps repeating itself. It's just history that keeps repeating itself, and the way that we can stop that is by moving on, creating more things, and the things that we create is like more jobs, more life that, people can actually live, and just, all types of things that we can make sure that no violence goes on. But there will come a time when someone is going to have a problem with somebody, and we can also create, resources for people to just talk things out, learn how to let things go, and, not bring it to, guns and stuff like that, because that's the main problem in Chicago. The guns, gang banging, and stuff like that. Anytime a teenager like myself, I'm just using myself as example. I don't handle guns. I'm good out there. I could, talk with my mouth instead of talking with the gun. But what I'm saying is, teenagers like us, when they get a hold of guns, they think that guns are the right answer. Though that's not the answer. That's just a way to either end up dead or end up jail from seeing your family because you took another person's family member out the system.
Yeah. I tell you, brother, it's Brother Matthew, it's interesting to me that you brought up guns and violence, and I think we can never, ever forget or fail to say this country that we live in is the most violent country in the world. Most gun purchases, most gun deaths, most mass shootings, most corruption. So we're looking at murder and killing and slaughter that starts at the top. Look at what's happening in Gaza.
Yeah.
So we always have to understand the culture that exists and the profit motive in that and how it's impacted us. Brother Tio, you mentioned the work being done, and we have talked for years about addressing root causes, but what I don't see, Brother Tio, I don't see investment in root causes, right?
Yeah, a lot of
I see investment in police. I see investment in police.
The root cause is because you have to go back all the way to the plantation. Dr. Naeem Akbar wrote that book, The Psychological Chains of Slavery, right? And we still struggling with the aftermath of Jim Crow. So you got to understand, we were traumatized during the transatlantic slave trade, and then when our forefathers fought for their freedom, then we were traumatized with Jim Crow. After Jim Crow, we were traumatized with trying to fight for civil rights and black power. And then in the 70s, pure cocaine and heroin was dumped in our community. They called it the failed war on drugs, traumatized by the drug trade. So in the 80s and the 90s, the Jim Shoe Boys took over the street gang. And then another level of gun violence trauma kicked in. So we've been dealing with trauma, man, for centuries now. And nobody wants to deal with the root causes because then you have to deal with the overall healing process. And there are some reparations that I do to our people that we will never receive. But we got to take reparations here right now because we'll never get it no other kind of way. So the young brothers on the street, I'm glad to see that you got some young brothers on the line tonight. And the young lady was right as well. It may take the sisters to step up on a higher level, because the reality, I'm doing the best we can do. I have 40 young brothers in the Auburn Gresham Chatham community going through construction training with the better Builders Foundation over here on the south side. They're doing with us, the BBF, they're doing good. And on the west side, we're working with 100 young brothers and sisters. So I can only do so much, and I got about 50% of them young brothers and sisters in alternative schools, another 30% in job training programs. So, we have to get in where we fit in and practice what we preach. The young brothers need a whole lot of constructive shadowing, like hanging out with them, guide them in the right direction, teach them what they can do. But, Farrakhan, I must say this. The Nation of Islam, they have a model. Provided they can push their model to a degree and implement their model to help reduce the gun violence. I believe it would definitely work. It worked in Kansas City in the projects before. And, I don't think the minister get a lot of props for, the way he lays it out, because he helped to turn the lives around. Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X turned the lives around of a lot of young brothers and sisters during their time, and the minister continues to do it even to this day. But, let me just say this last thing. It's more technical, because the main solution, people may not want to hear this, you really need a black army of love, man, about 5,000 strong guerrilla brothers, man, to take over Chicago and bring the brothers to the table of peace. I'm not saying go out there and stand on them brothers. I ain't talking about no civil war or nothing like that. An army of tough love. And we go out there and the brothers are beefing with each other. We force them to the table, man. You got to come to the table with this man, young brother. You're not going to kill him. We ending all the killing in our community. That's up to the black man to change the culture in his community. Police can't change our culture. I'm not anti-police. I'm just pro with my people, and it's going to take a real strong, in my opinion, it's just my opinion, okay? And that, like the sister said, you can't finance unity. That's something we got to do as men. We see the problem. All the money, $370 million spent on the illegal immigrants, $800 million altogether with county, state, and city. Why not take that $800 million with them 90% unemployed young brothers with a laser beam focus and get them working, man? Man, we got our priorities kind of mixed up. I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, no, I think Brother Tio is you're right on point, and I want to say a couple of things. One, it's important because part of stemming the problem is it is important to hear solutions. Mm-hmm. So it is important to hear what you are doing, because it says, no, there can be change, and it says there can be unity, but we just have to continue to work at it and work on it. And the program of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the fruit of Islam, the men that belong to Islam in North America, we can basically go to any neighborhood in the country because we have power, but we go with love. We don't go with bullets.
Yeah.
We don't take pride in beating our people. None of that. We take their insults and we try to model. We model what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the minister taught us, which is a disciplined black man who is trying to lift his brother up, not being judgmental. So I think you're absolutely right that we need this army of love.